Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. God damn it. You see these brothers right here? I don't know if I'm pointing, but the video might edit a different way. But of course, we have Qstorm in the building. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing good. If this were a white program, we would have checked everything, so everything was working. We're ready to go. That's all I got to say.
All right. The audience has no idea what you're talking about.
I know.
And if this was a white program, you never would have said that. But you're looking good, sir. You're looking good. I can see you lost some weight. I see it in your face a little
You
bit.
think so? My head looks bigger than ever, according to me.
But I don't see you every day. Pause on what you said, but
Dang,
good, bro. Good. All right. Try and give you a compliment.
I shaved today. I got
Okay.
the fiddler thing going with the gray. I got to get the dye back in, but I'm
You
all
said you got the what thing?
fiddler.
Sometimes we're our own worst enemy. I would have said you had to read Richard, but
I'll take that.
You see yourself how you see yourself.
The joke, damn shit. The joke.
I don't get the joke like this very often when people that are trusted, so y'all wouldn't take it the wrong way. In today's world, you can't really be talking, you get accused of being something, whatever.
And I'll say whatever I want to say.
There you go. All right. Also joining us, Mr. Antpooh. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing good. Shout out to my Uncle John. I used to clown him about 20-some years ago when he was a soccer dad. And I was like, yeah, that'd never be me. You a little punk. I can't believe you let your white dude da. Wow. Here I am. Yeah, I know. I was young and dumb.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you being a good dad, but I understand,
Here I am 20 years later doing the exact same shit. And yesterday it was worse. Tomorrow is my daughter's final soccer match for the season. And in the practice, they decided to do parents versus kids. I was like, shit. I wanted to sit my big ass down like, nah. I was like, you know what? I got to set the example for my daughter. So I got out there. It was a 20-minute scrimmage. Man, I will never talk crap about soccer again. I will never.
Oh, hell no, man. Soccer ain't no joke.
And I'll be seeing my daughter out there missing stuff and being tired. Ain't saying that either. I was out there huffing and puffing, but I held my own just a little bit. But then I ain't gonna lie, I almost forgot she was my daughter and put hands on her because we was out there.
Maybe we'll edit this part out because I don't think.
No, keep it 100. Let me tell you what.
Really no way to.
We were out there.
This part I don't co-sign, just to be clear.
We were out there jockeying, trying to get the ball, and she stomped on my foot. And mind you, she's in cleats, so this shit hurt like a motherfucker. I was like, "What the?" I was like, "Damn, that was my baby that did. Damn it." I was like, "You lucky."
Lord,
I was swing on any kid. Have you ever had your foot stomped on by some soccer cleats?
No.
It's one of the most painful things I've ever had.
They're not pointy, are they? They're dull, aren't they?
Dude, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. See, you don't know. You ain't had your foot stomped by some soccer cleats. Them some bitches hurt like a mother. And I was like, oh hell. But it was good. It was funny because we went up. The parents went up 2-0. And then all of a sudden we lost 5-2. And the coach is like, yeah, y'all thought y'all had it, but then y'all ran out of stamina. I was like, that ain't what happened. We asserted our dominance and we was like, all right, we'll let them win the rest of the way. It's like we had to, we knew we could beat them. We got our 2 goals. And then after that, we were like, yeah, we know we can beat you. So go ahead and let y'all have y'all moral victory. Fun time. I'm enjoying this girl dad moment in my life.
How old is she now?
She is 7 going on 16.
Wow.
And Mike, you probably know this. Since you got
again, don't bring me. I don't know. I'm not beating my kids. I don't feel like get that mad where I want to whoop them, beat them like that.
But you know, since you're around your daughter a lot, you just get amazed at how smart she is when she one time, I think I might have told you this off air. One time I tell her, you only get McDonald's once a week. So she's with me 4 days out of the week. She's with her mother 3 days out of the week. So she
Man,
was
you
like,
doing a lot of your business out there. So I'm just again, just
that's cool.
we're talking to an audience of people now. Just so you know how we have our celebrities. I'm like, why they be saying that? We're trying to give you real time, like be easy. Go ahead.
I'm fine with that.
Okay,
So she's like, Daddy, because I'm driving home. She's like, Daddy, can we get McDonald's? I said, no, you only get McDonald's once a week, and today ain't that day. And she's like, well, but I'm going to mommy's house. So if you give me the McDonald's, I'll have it at mommy's house. So you can still only have one day at your house. I looked at her like, this mother. I was like, that's a good one. That's a good one. No, that's a good one. I was like, wow, this. I was like, this girl is so smart. She got all the hustles already, and I don't know where she got it from because I didn't have that type of hustle skill when I was that age. But she's so smart, and it just astonishes me the games she be coming up with to try to get her way.
man, that's crazy. That's all good. And this is our therapy session. You're around your brothers, so you can we we're expressing ourselves with man, beautiful father. Salute to your daughter. Definitely can relate to some of it.
Well, okay, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Can I go on track?
Got it.
Would anybody, y'all remember, it was probably a couple weeks ago, but somebody put up a photo on the Discord with a black father. And I'm all for what Ant's doing. You know, I was there. My son's in college now, but I was there. Mike, I'm sure you've been there. And somebody put up a picture of a black father supporting his daughter's ballet lesson by putting
yes.
I'm like,
Oh yeah.
look, boundaries, come on.
This is spoken like a true boy dad. When you have that little girl and almost anything she asks you to do, you're gonna do it. You really gonna do it. And I salute that man. I would not have the courage to do it. I'm being honest. I would not. But I salute that man being asked by his daughter, Daddy, let's all wear tutus for this picture. And him saying, you know what? I'm comfortable in my masculinity, my manhood, that I'm gonna wear it to make her happy. I couldn't do it. I mean, I couldn't, but salute to him. I don't judge him at all because I have a daughter. And it'd be the weirdest thing. Shit, like I don't like playing Roblox, but when she come in here, she come in the living room, Daddy, let's play Daddy's World. I'm like, no, give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes turn into 30 minutes. Finally, she comes in. Daddy, you said you was gonna play Roblox. I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it. Daddy, let's go outside and play soccer.
Does she know you're dressed to impress?
Oh yes.
There you go. Say no more.
She used, before she could read well, she would come in, Daddy, what does this word say? It's formal. Oh, what's formal? I'm like, oh Lord. So now I got to do all stuff to help her with it.
Well, just so I'm clear, I'm talking about what's the name of the game? Roblox.
Roblox, yeah,
Roblox.
just to impress. Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
All right.
You know,
all right.
So she can't read the word. She don't know what a word. She'll come ask me what it is, and then get me to tell her what it is, so she can create the outfit to win. Okay. Then she'll come back in, Daddy, what do you score this? Is this a 7 or a 10? I'm like, it's really a 3.
Damn.
But of course, I'm gonna tell her it's an 8.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, okay, Joseph. All right. Let's get into the get down. Where do we begin? We are a little behind, but I want to definitely hear you guys' takes on some stuff here. So first up, let's go to the movie. Sinners. It's a few weeks out. Actually, I think the re-release started yesterday or today in IMAX. I've seen the movie twice. and I want to see it again. I don't even normally go to the movies like that no more, but this one got me out to see it. Saw it opening weekend, loved it. Went back a week after and went to a real. Actually, real quickly, I saw it in IMAX at the AMC, and that was great. Went to see it at a real IMAX theater. I forgot they had one here. What would I call that? It was like I'm not gonna overhype it, but amazing. It was a total difference from the IMAX I saw it at to in this. And it made me I'm like, okay, I need to start going to this IMAX theater to see movies because the difference in scale and proportion was absurd. Uh, and the theater experience was excellent, even though it was damn near sold out. It didn't feel like no one was like talking crazy or nothing. But I love the movie, and like I say,
You see how we talk about ourselves?
Yes, I do. But yeah, loved it, and I think you guys liked it. But we're gonna start with Q. Q, what are your thoughts, takeaways on Ryan Coogler's Sinners?
It's so far the best movie of the year, hands down. If nothing else, I mean, there's so many things to applaud it for. Let's talk about the technical aspect. Man, when I first saw the characters Smoke and Stack, I was like, wait a minute, no, that's my man right there. No, wait, that's my man. Oh shit. He's playing two different characters and it looks seamless. There was a video, like a YouTube short, but it was still like 15 minutes long, that went into maybe one of you posted it, about the one shot that took a few hours to get, where Smoke, I kind of got him confused, but Smoke hands Stack a cigarette.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
When they're standing next to the truck. And that, I think he said that shot took like 3 hours to get because they had to do motion tracking and all that.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you want to talk about, we've seen a lot of movies. Notably, what comes to mind is Social Network, where they had the Winklevoss twins that were played by Armie Hammer.
You know, it's so funny that you mentioned that. When I first saw that, I thought they were real twins.
Well, I did too. I mean, I think everybody did before because that was his first movie, as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
But
he got blackballed or something, didn't he?
But yeah, because he was talking about eating people.
Oh, all right, my bad.
Yeah, but this blows that away. Just I'm not going to talk too long, but just the themes alone in this movie, it was kind of like they took like when we went to see Black Panther. I probably shouldn't say that. I had a white friend, a dear friend, and he asked me, "What'd you think?" And I don't know what made me say it. It just part of the astral plane came up out of me. Is that I could try to explain it to you, Bob, but I don't think you're going to understand.
Oh, damn.
Same thing with Sinners. I mean, there's so many. You could dissect this movie over and over again, and just find new things in it. I'm gonna just tell you real quick the one shot. That shot where the camera's overhead on a crane or whatever, and we start seeing the spirits of Bootsy Collins. We start seeing a DJ. We see some Shenyun dancers, and the music is Delta blues, but then they put this motherfucking beat behind it at the end.
She was tight. Yeah.
Because when I first saw Boots, that was like an avatar for Bootsy. I don't know if it was supposed to be the real Bootsy Collins, but I don't know what the fuck is that? Oh,
yeah.
What they mean by the music has the power to open the past to the present to the future. That was the single best shot of the entire film. And the soundtrack, I clowned your boy Ludwig Göransson, whatever the guy who wrote the music. He did something. You remember that?
Yeah, because to refresh your memory, 2018, he loved Black Panther. He loved Black Panther, but he called out Ryan Coogler. Why didn't he get a black composer? I remember that.
Hey, you know what?
He did his thing, man. He did his thing. You gotta give it to him.
he got his hood pass, I guess, because man, I could talk a
No,
lot
no,
more.
no, no. We're not doing that. The message of sinners was what? Stop giving the invitations to
Wow.
non-melanated people to the
Oh, wow.
cookout.
Here we go. All right, Umar.
Well, listen, I could talk for another hour, but I'm not going to monopolize it. But clearly, yes, I like the film. I just want to say one other thing. There's a shot, it's in my review on real REEL Qstorm.com, where their I want to say it was Stack was driving his car, his little whatever, back in the 30s or 1929 it was, I think it was, or was it 32 anyway, and Themi, Preacher Boy, whatever his nickname was, he's playing his banjo and singing, and my man's like looking at him like, oh shit, we're gonna make some money. That was all cool, but I just remember the shot. They were driving in this cotton field, and it was just a row upon row upon row of cotton. They were floating within that, and they were having this joyous moment. And I was like, you could read, okay, even within our pain, music can soothe us. I was like, man, listen, Ryan Coogler, I'm taking the L multiple times. I'm gonna take a quote from my man Michael Dean. Wear the suit, homie. You want to direct a remake of Star Wars? Wear the suit.
Well, I agree with you. He's that guy. He's I will say this, and we're going to Antpooh. I was going to say he has taken the reins. You know, to me, like Spike. For me, Spike Lee is was the greatest black director of all time, if not one of the best directors. But to me, Ryan Coogler is now not only the best black director, but one of the top directors, period, in my opinion. He's up there with the Nolans. You know, I like my Zack Snyders. I'm gonna put him up. No, I'm gonna put him up there with Spike. I'm gonna put him up there with Spielberg. To me, his body of work so far is immaculate. Even his first film is a headbuster.
What was that one? Was that Fruitvale?
Fruitvale Station. For a young person to come out the gate with that, to me, that's Black Panther. Yes, it has some Marvel fanfare to it, but to me, it is one of the top Marvel movies. And I think it's a success on its own for what he did with it. And I thought he did Creed was dope.
He does have one. He does have one.
Which one?
Wakanda Forever. That was a step.
Yeah,
It looks
but
beautiful.
Again, what director of that level doesn't, right? He's only got one. And it's a very short career so far, but everything has been bangers. And then for him to come with an original idea, it's not a franchise, not based on, and he blows it out. And he's got these actors. I mean, like you said, man, everything about it is high level, is deep. You can see all these different layers. Yeah, man. And he's young. Incredible. Like, I can't imagine what he's going to do next. Go ahead.
Jordan Peele needs to be like, shit, I better get writing something.
Hey, and Jordan Peele is dope, but the consistency, you know, after Get Out, was it Get Out?
Yes.
He did Get Out, then he did Us. His movies are starting to, each movie is less than the other.
See, there you go.
See,
but he's dope though. I'm not gonna say he's not.
I have to disagree. The only subpar Jordan Peele film was Nope, in my opinion. I loved Us. There's a lot to.
I gotta see that again. I gotta see it again. I only saw it.
Great. I know we're talking about Sinners, but it's criminal that Lupita didn't get a nomination for that role because she acted her ass off playing both of those roles. Similar to Michael B. Jordan with this.
Right on. The floor is yours, sir.
Absolutely. I have to continue the sentiment. This was a phenomenal film. The script was well. I don't think we talked about the acting. Everyone cast played their role perfectly, and they got you in. Haley Stanfield, and get on me if you want. Why you starting with the white girl? But Haley Stanfield had me believe she was a passing black woman. When she said that line, boy, get the fuck out of my face. I was like, my whole theater was like, damn.
Yeah.
And she had arguably the coldest line in the world. I want a woman to say that to me. You know the line I'm talking about, right? You can rob trains and bakes, but you can't steal this pussy for a night.
Oh yeah.
I actually missed that the first time I saw it.
Woo! I would love. If I need there to be a director's cut, and I need Ryan Coogler to explain who wrote that line and where that inspiration came from, because that was just like, wow. My theater, it was like, damn, like, ooh, we were all feeling that. The thing that was amazing about that film,
was such a you observation.
Hey, I'm what if
like the coldest line in the movie, Mike. And I'm like, was there something deep? No, I'm talking about when you eating pussy.
No, I didn't say that.
Right.
But what I love was that I felt was really great about this film was Ryan Coogler, the setup to the night that turns to terror. You're watching and learning about these characters, getting invested, and you're just like, damn, I can't wait to see how this play out. And then all of a sudden, this vampire falls out of the sky, and you're like, wait, oh, that's right. It ain't no period piece about brothers overcoming the South. It's a horror movie, and shit's about to go down. And just overall, at Cornbread, salute to him. He played his role perfectly, and I love that. Delroy Lindo, the fact that I'm still mad that he didn't get an Oscar nomination and Oscar win for The Five Bloods. I wish they make it up to him for this one, but you know it is. He continues when whatever role they cast him, he continues to deliver. And then Michael B. Jordan, like that's the only thing that I would find flaw, and it's me, because maybe I just couldn't. No, I'm sorry. Be honest, maybe it was just me. I find it hard to figure out who was Smoke, who was Stack. Like, believe it or not, when Mary and I think Smoke, that was his girl, were getting it on, I thought she was talking to Stack. And yeah, I know. But that's how well he was performing it, where I couldn't get, okay, who was who. I don't want to tell him how he's doing his film, but yeah, I wish he had gotten a different actor so I would know which one I was who was who. But yeah, I understand if you watch it again, their personalities really differentiate. You'll notice the different clothing, their mannerism more. And so maybe I do need to see it again where I can clearly see who's smoking, who's Stack. And just overall,
well, let me ask you both this question. Have you just seen it once so far?
I've seen it once.
Okay, you have to see it again. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I can't get this sister's name right, so I'm not going to even try. I'm just going to call her Annie. The casting was bold because in 2025, a heavyset, dark-skinned woman being cast as a love interest, and she did it. And it didn't seem unbelievable at all. And the fact that she became the leader, and I've seen a number of TikTok videos where it was kind of like that: trust the black woman, believe black woman, black women speak, listen to black women, because she was on it and was doing everything. And I love the fact, the symbolism at the end, at the beginning, where please forgive me, I can't remember who was who. Smoke, I don't remember if that was the one that was, but let's say it was Smoke, where he was like kind of like chiding her about her hoodoo. And he's like, oh, you gave me this bag and I came back. And she was like, yes, because of this bag that you came back to me. You ever thought of that? And then at the end of the film, when he took it off, I was like, you dumb mofo. But then I realized his woman was gone. He wasn't ready to live on this earth without her. And that fucked me up. Like, wow, he was ready to go. He took off that protection. And you noticed the protection was gone. He ended up dying off of one bullet too. I mean, you're gonna look at me like, yeah, one bullet can do that. I know that, but you know what I mean. in this movie, all the stuff he went through, this little random shot to the gut is what takes him out. But it was because he was ready to go because he didn't want to live. He already has to live without the child. Now he's got to live without the woman he loves. And I just really felt that symbolism.
I actually thought he was deciding he wanted to go be with them.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
That's
right.
why he did it. He realized I lost my brother. I done lost everything. I'm gonna go out. But anyway, go ahead.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, phenomenal.
You're gonna say something, Q. My bad.
4.8 out of 5. And it's only because until I see it again where I can differentiate the two Michael B. Jordan characters, it was kind of hard to keep up who was who.
Okay.
For me.
One of the things I loved about this on reflection, well, first of all, talking about what Ann said, another guy that I know, he's a instructor as well. He put on something I missed. I'm like, damn, I need to stop trying to review these movies. He said, well, at the beginning, Smoke wore blue,
right,
and Stack wore red. I'm like, I didn't even notice that. And what was not funny, but I'm like, wow, okay, the vampires came in, everybody got bit except for Sammy.
Sammy, man.
I thought it was Semi because I saw a clip where Michael B. Jordan was like, we've been pronouncing his name wrong. So I assumed it was Semi. I didn't watch the clip. But all right, Sammy. The next day after all that, I'm like, well, that's the movie right there. But no. Now, the normal me would be like, this is not necessary. This doesn't move the plot along. But then they got to fight the white dudes coming back, the Klan members coming back to burn down the club. And I just thought that was the symbolism there. I got to deal with all this shit with the undead, and y'all still fucking with me. It just a vampire. If you think about it, the vampires were offering black folks immortality and the ability to kill their enemies. Right now, that could have been just all right. We're gonna set you guys up to be undead and suffer like we do with our immortality. But it just went to if you think of it that way, it went to show you a vampire is more trustworthy than a white racist.
I'm trying to follow. Go ahead.
No, I just said it. The vampires let you know where they stand. The white racist says, oh, yeah, we'll sell this to you, and we ain't never going to touch it. We ain't never going to bother you. And then it took a vampire to tell the guy, well, they're coming tomorrow to burn your shit down. You know that, right?
He only told him that, though, after him trying to lie to him didn't work. Right. He was doing just like the white supremacists.
Well,
the real white supremacists will call you a nigga to your face. After they realize that you ain't my friend, I ain't gonna be your friend, they'll tell you, yeah, I'm gonna keep it real with you. But the other ones who will act like they're your friends and at the end of the day want to take you out, that's what the vampires was doing until it was revealed like, shit, these are vampires. He's not asking us to come in a party. He's asking to kill us. Once that was off the bag, and yeah, I can tell you the truth because what does it matter? He's making you choose between the lesser.
Look at.
Let me just say this real quick. He's making the black person choose between the lesser of two evils. And you can read what you want to read with that. Go ahead.
You ain't slick.
You coming at me? I know you coming at me. Fuck you, Mike. Anyway,
about sinners. Come on. Now.
Anyway, I take your point, but remember the scene where what's her name? Maggie. What was Haley Stanfield's character name?
Mary. Which could be some symbolism there, since that was who
she walked outside, and they didn't attack her. The Irish vampire, Remick, I think his name was. He was like,
he didn't attack her. He did.
No. When she first walked outside, she sat down next to him and they were talking and he was spitting some truth. He's like, I can't remember exactly. Maybe he knew she was mixed race, something, but he was like, you need to be set free. I want to set you free. He didn't just attack her.
But she has no idea what he's talking about.
It doesn't matter. I'm saying he did not attack her off the bat. He was trying to sell her on, hey, I can help you out.
Well, that's what the vampires do. They don't attack you off
but they did, but some of them did. What did what was the name? Omar Miller, the big dude from Ballers. What was his name?
Cornbread.
Yeah,
Cornbread.
but that's
What
after
happened?
they've
Can you
revealed
give me
to
the
what
money?
they are, though,
Huh?
right? But that's after they've been revealed what the situation is.
No, they
No,
hadn't.
not at that point. No, not at
No,
that.
they hadn't. My
When
point is,
Cornbread came back,
I'm saying Remick did not just outright attack Mary.
right?
That tells me he was trying. I believe, at least. I mean, it's open to interpretation. I believe in his heart. I mean, he did have ulterior motives, but in his heart, he's like, I want to help you.
Well,
Just like when Stack met with I want to say Buddy Guy. That was the guy playing him. But when Stack met with Sammy and in the 90s,
yeah,
he was
but
like,
Sammy promised he would never hurt him, so that's why he doesn't.
but these are, like I said, that's why they are more trust. You can read into it. They're more trustworthy than white races because he's got the bloodlust, and he said, "Nope, I promise I wasn't going to hurt you, so I'm not going to hurt you." More trustworthy than a white racist.
Wait, are you
Well,
talking
no,
about?
wait. Just so I can say, the first time we see that vampire character, and I can't remember his name, he's lying. Remick, he's lying to that white lady at the door to get in there to kill them. He wasn't telling them straight up what they're doing. He was on the run from the
gang.
English.
I mean, he's got game. He ain't gonna.
Yeah, but he's coming to kill. He wants to get in there to take over their house, right, and to get them on his side. He's lying from the jump. He didn't have anybody's best interest. And again, they tell you his whole premise of what he's doing is they want the black music. They understand what that does to people, and they wanted to get that by any means necessary, right? And he knew that boy is the key. To me, it would be just like if he was looking at a Michael Jackson or these exceptional artists that they know are going to have so much influence, and then they know the power of that black music. Yeah, he was lying the whole time. They just want the boy. He told them, y'all can leave. Give us him. Like they was, again, to me, they was no more trustworthy. They was just like he was doing whatever he had to do to get us. Now I can see how, again, he seemed trustworthy to some of the blacks at first because he's trying to get in, but then his old motive was to get that little black boy. So no matter what he told the white girl when she came outside, what he told Cornbread at the door, you have to remember the only reason he's there is to abduct and kill that black boy to take over the music and use it for his own purposes. So whether he's trustworthy or not, he's there to destroy us. Go ahead.
No, I can't say you're wrong. I'm not going to say I'm wrong. I mean, it's open to interpretation. I just remember when what's his name? Omar Miller. That's the actor's name. Cornbread.
Okay.
I mean, I can't remember if they knew. Yeah, they knew they were vampires at this point, I think. And so I guess
they didn't know exactly what they were.
And Cornbread, he took the first opportunity when that was a dumb move. He was that Stack handed him the money and he bit him in the it was Stack. That's how he got turned, right? He got bit in the arm. And I'm just saying, Cornbread.
No, Stack didn't get turned there. Stack
got turned by the girl.
Mary.
I need to see the movie again. There's a lot going on in the movie.
He got turned with Mary, right?
Right. That's Mary got Stack. Yeah.
That's look like a hell of a way to go, though.
No, it ain't.
I'll just say this: if Mary came to the door and y'all Negroes was in there and she asked me, "Can I come in?" Y'all be some undead right now. That's all.
Well, it's funny you say that.
If I didn't know she was a vampire, yes, I would let her in.
There's a video out now. Somebody did a spoof. It's a black girl, but she openly has fangs, but she's fine as hell. And she comes to the brother's door. You think I can come in? And he's like, ah. And then she eventually like, I'll do whatever, we can get it popping, He's like, and she's like, I'm clean, showing her stuff. And I was waiting for them to say, and I'll suck you, which would kind of go to the Menace Society thing. But yeah, I think some of us probably would have, if let that have been Halle Berry, right? He would have been like, you want to bite me right here? Or can you bite this?
No.
That's the one thing Q is that you can bite whatever. Halle Berry, you can do whatever you. Oh, you want to do dildo? All right, let me.
Okay, and
Somebody
he
popped the edible.
Here's the
And
line.
I'm not. That's the funny part. But go ahead.
Stepping over it.
But let's just go to talk about some of the stuff that's in the movie that I thought was very interesting and cool. Yes, going back to what Q said about the scene where they show the dance and sort of the lineage of our music, past and present. That alone is why I would say, Ryan Coogler, upper tier director, storyteller. That to me, that just like this could have just been a vampire action movie. It'd have been cool. But the fact that he took and put in all of this spirituality, which actually the movie is called Sinners, to me, that's what it's really about. But the fact that he put the spirituality part in there, the Christianity, the voodoo stuff in there, ties in black people, what was going on back then. He didn't have to do all of that. And if it was anybody other than us, they wouldn't have done that. It would have just been a standard vampire. It would have been Blade, essentially. Blade doesn't touch on any racial anything in his black characters, but this one does. And he did it in a way where it doesn't come off as, I was waiting for these fools. This is too woke. But I think the fact that it was such a great movie, technically, storytelling wise, acting, and everything, the fact that it's really low key hitting you over the head with some stuff, probably went over the head of a lot of the audience who is not plugged into, our culture and different things. And they just saw it as, wow, this is a great cinematic movie. But for us watching it, that whole first 40 minutes, I could have watched more of that, just to seeing how we were. The fact that there was one side of the street was white businesses and one side was black businesses. I was like, damn, we were doing that shit back then. And the fact that it was the Asian cats that was running the store, I was like, wow, that kind of ties into I feel sorry for your mother sort of stuff. I was just seeing a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, damn, he put a little, even the things that the character said, like Aunt said, where she's like, if you don't get the fuck out, I laugh because I know what that's, I understand that that's some common now type talk that they probably would never say back then. But throwing that in here was dope to me. There was another character, the character that was beaten on the door. It was the guy they threw out because they thought he had been bitten, but he was really had just drunk some wine or something. When you watch it again, listen to what he's saying when he's beating on the door. You would think that he was in 2025, the stuff he was talking, but it's so funny because it's like only us would have somebody saying some shit like that and acting like he's in today's world when he probably wouldn't have acted the same way. But that's what made it great. Like he was able to pull in modern things and it didn't feel like you were pulling yourself out of time, even though the movie is deliberately doing that, right? With the dance and the hip hop stuff. If anybody else would have done that where they was twerking or they had the gangbangers in there, I would have been like, what kind of bullshit is this? But here, I didn't bat an eye. I thought it was brilliant. I was like, God, I see what he's doing. I think what he was saying about music, I thought was actually pretty dope too. Like, our shit needs to be protected. Like, we need to understand our music is dope. And there's certain people that's trying to get this shit. They know what it is. Like that vampire, he knew exactly what that music does, and I can use it. And you can see it in the movie when he got all those black people, when he bit those black people and they went outside. You notice his whole dance and style got a little bit more better, and you can see like, okay, he's absorbing our shit and trying to put in his little, he was Eminem in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, okay, he good, And even it was Smoker Stack. You saw him on his Billy, like. He was, yeah, I kind of like that music. I like this side. But he was with old girl, so it made sense that you'd be thinking like that. What's his name? Delando, the older brother. Man, to me, and I don't care if any of them get Academy Award nomination, to be clear, but the only person I would think should get something, would be him. I thought he stole the movie every time he was on the screen. I just thought he was fantastic, man. And to me, that brother looks exactly how he looked in Malcolm X. And I'm like, he the real vampire. Like this, he don't seem to have changed at all. And I don't know how old he is now, but the fact that he's in a movie in 2025, still killing it and looking good after so many years, like I just thought he was phenomenal, man. And to me, he was like I saw like some of my family and the way that he was talking and the way he acted. I saw my grandparents and some of the older people in my family. I was like, God, that's so authentic what he's doing, the way he's talking and his attitude. I just thought, yeah, he killed that. And the last thing I will say, I'll turn it over. I thought Michael B. Jordan was brilliant only because he didn't overpower the movie in my mind when he probably could have, but I think he was such a good actor. He was able to play two distinctive roles and still allow space for everyone else to do their thing. And I think if they had made it, like if it had been Will Smith or something, it would have been too much about Will Smith and, oh, he did this in the movie. Michael B. Jordan almost comes off as like, he's in the cut, but he's the main character. And he's two of the main characters. But I don't know. It was just, I thought he was brilliant in this, man. For him to start out on The Wire, at least that's where I saw him, I would have never thought he would have been in something like this and blow it out. Like, he's going to be in a vampire movie 20 years from now. What, Underworld 6? Fuck out of here. But, he was in Sinners. So, anyway, anything else you guys wanted to bring out about the movie?
Yeah, I wanted to say, what was his Miles Caton? I think his name was the guy that played Sammy.
Brilliant.
His debut role.
Yeah, brilliant.
I mean, what the hell is this dude going to do after this?
Yeah, fantastic artist too. That's incredible. Yeah, I mean that's another thing. Who finds a guy like that, and he can be right there with Michael B. Jordan, all those other people, and he never been in a movie before, and blow it out the water, and be a dope musician, singer, and all that. That's super rare.
We got to talk about the one scene.
Which one?
I mean, you could be Halle Berry, but if it don't smell right,
oh, hilarious.
That one,
he was a kid.
That one had me hella uncomfortable because I'm like, anytime a woman tells you, "Let me wash up," let her.
Yeah, I agree. But again, if you was, I don't know how old he was, 18 maybe or something. That was the other thing. I don't know how old she was supposed to be, but he definitely seemed like a kid. But I mean, if he was 18 and some fine ass sister, and you at the club and everyone's feeling you and she's feeling you and you ain't never had none before, you probably the last thing you're gonna be worried about is because you don't know nothing about that. You don't even know what she's talking about. What do you mean it's not?
All I'm saying is if the woman tells you,
I agree. But a kid doesn't have the mind for that. And we're talking about back in the day, nigga. They wasn't douching. There wasn't no.
I think they were.
Did they have a special type of soaps and all of the?
Not that, but I'm sure I think they had dishes back then.
They had soap and water. Stop.
Yeah, but my thing is like, I can understand you don't need to wash up to do the intercourse, but I'm just saying, like, I get you being young. You're like, nah, I'm just thinking, whatever. I get that. I mean, but you gonna put your mouth down? Come on, bro. Woman's telling you.
I know back then. I gotta think back in 32.
That's what I'm saying.
When there wasn't a lot of refrigeration going on,
everybody was stinking.
You was right. So you get down there and it smells.
That's how you know it, and he knows nothing. But if you do know, I mean, I guess everyone would have had some sort of scent. I mean, I don't know. We ate different foods than we are today. Our bodies are different than they were back then. Maybe
how are they different?
Well, I mean, just because we don't eat all the chemicals aren't in our bodies and all that type of stuff.
I think they didn't have chemicals back then.
That's what I'm saying. So
okay.
The pH balance was way different back then.
Oh man,
you feel me?
We're talking about pH balance.
No, it was way different back then. They're not eating the wild shit generationals that we have eaten.
Phil, not a science guy now.
hey, I know
The-
about that. It's like,
The thing that I liked about this is the mid credit post credit scene where it leaves it open. They did the fact that Ryan Coogler is getting hated on for getting the rights to this film reverted back to 25 after 25 years. I love that because he left so much world building where you can have some prequels, you can have some sequels. Like they only had like 3-4 minutes, but I'm interested as fuck about them Choctaw Indians,
Yes.
them being the blade vampire hunters of the 1930s. I mean, I can see a good creative story of Choctaw Indians, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, in the 1930s going around killing killing vampires off the land. And I love the fact that he brought that in there because I don't know if the larger America, I mean, meaning non-melanated black people know, but like, there is a reverence within the black community of Native Americans, indigenous, being in tune with this land and pretty much knowing and seeing some shit. So when they came on and they were the ones that were like, yeah, we try to get rid of it. I love that because it's like, oh yeah, I believe that. Absolutely believe that. And then the fact at the end with Stack and Mary later on, I'm like, damn, 70 years. Can you imagine the stuff that they've done for 70 years? That could make for a nice 3-season series showing what they did if they wanted to go there.
yeah, I agree with you. I will say I hope they don't.
Really?
Yes, really. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Don't be Disney. Don't be. Yeah. There's no. The only reason you're going to do that is for monetary gains. And again, I'm not mad at the idea of that, but can't we just have something that's great and then let him go do something else? Because I don't want this to turn into the franchise that just does not quit. No, like that'd be like somebody said, "Can we do another Scarface or Boys in the Hood or Heat?" Which they're gonna do another Heat too, unfortunately. No, let those great movies be great movies. They don't need to go on. If you're just gonna go on just because you want to make some more money, then the storytelling then is gonna start to get shaky, man. And there's the chance that you'll ruin the previous movie. Now imagine if The Matrix just stopped at The Matrix, right?
Wow, really?
That would, I mean, still that movie is head buster, but it gets tainted as it goes forward.
Well, I'm gonna do this. What if Lucas stopped at A New Hope?
Hey, he is the outlier, but if he did, New Hope would still be dope to me. We wouldn't have got an empire, but again, we wouldn't. What's the trade-off? I would have rather him stopped at that than where we at right now.
Really?
Wow. No disrespect to people who love it, but the Andors and the Ahsokas, the Kenobis, Skeleton Crew.
He should have stopped it. He should have stopped at Return of the Jedi. There was more story to tell. There's more story to tell here. I don't think there's any more story to tell with Stack, but I agree with Antpooh 100%. That was my one flaw about the movie. That while you're introducing these Indians, before y'all leave, I don't want y'all to be in them longer than 10 minutes, but you can come back and give me a little bit more than 30 seconds. So I would love to see I would love to see a prequel with those Indians.
I feel you. Like I said, I feel you, but I just feel like
different movie.
Well, right, and I'm not arguing. I'm just saying, but it just opens the door to that. What if it's terrible, right? Like, what if it's Boba Fett? Like, God, we wanted to see that character so bad, and then they gave it to you.
This is weak.
Trash. It should have just been. He should have just been a little character you saw talking to Vader for a little bit, and that's it. Everything does not need to have its own side story. That Carlito's Way. I love that movie. Benny Blanco from the Bronx character. I love that he was cool, but thank God they didn't do a whole movie based on it. Let it just be what it is. Everything don't have to be a spinoff. And unfortunately, I think we've been so conditioned probably in the last 20 years that every fucking opportunity we could make something out of that. And I feel like just because you can doesn't mean you should all the time. Like,
Oh, he
All
on the
right, Jurassic.
Jurassic Park now. Okay.
oh, is that what they're saying? But I mean, to me, like, imagine if Marvel stopped at Endgame and then gave it a break and I would have rather preferred that than any movie that has come out since then. Like,
But you wouldn't be saying that if the movies were good.
And I think that's his
well,
argument.
again, that's the thing. No movie is going to always be good. No, nothing is going to always be good. It just doesn't work like that. Nothing works like that. And if
Well,
they
yeah.
do, they're just few outliers. But I don't. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I mean, you got to know when to stop. I
But
agree
you
with
know,
you.
they don't know when to stop. That's the thing. Hollywood don't know when to stop. They only know when to stop when the money gets when they've extinguished it all. But they don't know when to stop when it's time. And I'm glad he got that. To me, I hope that's why he has ownership so that he can be the person that decides what works and what doesn't work. Because if you just sign that over to one, if he didn't own it, I guarantee Warner Brothers had already told us they got a sequel coming or whatever it is. That's just how they do it. They don't even, are they going to take the time to write a script as deep as what that was? Probably not. And what writer writes like that all the time? Nobody.
Yeah.
So it would make money. I think it would make money, but I just don't think it'd be.
Well, I am going to be hopeful, and that Ryan Coogler does have some more stories.
Oh, absolutely. I want to do something totally different though. Personally, he did his. He just made he made an instant classic, which is hard to do and rare to do. You don't normally see that, and when you do see it, I think when you see the real great talent, you don't have to have a whole big marketing push and all this stuff. That shit, the word of mouth is what sold that movie. No, I don't think of course, Hollywood, they didn't think it was going to be all that, right? Was it Variety? Hell no. Yes. The profit, they were doing their same old stuff.
Why the voice? What's the voice?
That's how they sound. The same way.
We didn't write that. Come on now.
Yeah, the same way.
Or at least willingly.
They didn't probably see what Black Panther was going to really do. Right?
No. Oh, we know that. We know that.
Like, yeah. Why? And to me, that was their fatal. That was one of their fatal flaws of Marvel, is not understanding how big the Black Panther thing was, and they were locked into whatever plans they had already laid down with the Avengers stuff. So they locked into it. They couldn't stop and like, you know what? Maybe we should jump right into Black Panther and make him even a more bigger part of this movie. But when you go back and listen to the commentary on Infinity War, they plainly tell you in there, we didn't really even see the movie yet. They just all came to the set to shoot that part where they're Umbaya, okay. They didn't even know that it was going to be a big deal when they shot that, and they didn't realize what they had. And he's like, that's why he ain't in it as much as he is. And to me, I'm like, yeah, they don't never think our movies are going to be what they are until we go see them. They're like, fuck, that's actually a surprise. Number one this week, Tyler Perry or whatever, whatever Black movie they always surprise that it's a big deal. I'm like, dude, we go see these movies. And when our shit blows, we gonna really go see these movies. And Sinners, to me, I think Sinners worked as a great movie for Black people went, but then everybody else went to go see it and was like, yo, this is some top tier cinema, period. And it works. And I implore you, if you can go see it in a real IMAX, trust me, the cinematography will blow your head off seeing it like that. I just, it pisses me off when I saw it because I'm like, you mean to tell me this Zack Snyder's Justice League, the whole movie is shot in that aspect and we've never seen it in the theaters? Like, I want to see all movies shot like that. It was fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Any other last things on Sinners? All right, go see it. Please go see it. I can't wait to buy that one. So that's day one for sure. All right. Moving on to, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Bring up Star Wars real quick. TV. Andor. Q, and we talked about this the other day. So I know you're watching the show, right? Or you've seen some of it. What are
I've
your
seen,
thoughts on
I think I'm on episode 5
okay,
of season 2.
season 2? I've only seen season 2 episodes. Actually, it was 7. 7 and 8 are the 2 that I've seen. I have yet to watch 9, which I think is the most recent one. But I will say this off the gate: I have never seen the first season, and when I looked at the previews, it looked boring to me, so I never watched it. And I had no intention of watching season 2. I only heard about these 3 recent episodes from other people that I trust. They're like some of the best Star Wars I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, okay, let me. So I signed up to watch it. I will say this: episode 8, I thought was dope. Like, I didn't know all the characters because I've only seen Rogue One, so I knew the lead guy, and I'm kind of piecing it together from here's what happened previously in the episode. But the events that happened in there, I was like, man, if the rest of the show is like this, I'm gonna be watching. But I was very entertained and I was impressed by the action and intrigue, everything that was going on. So I definitely was into that. But I'm curious, Q, as a person who's seen all of this stuff, what was your takes on the show?
Well, I can tell you, season 2 is, like I say, and they've been dropping 3 episodes at a time, if I'm not mistaken. But I think, like I said, I'm on episode 5. For the majority of season 1, up until episode 5, I was fighting sleep. Season 1, the only sequence on that season that I liked was when Andor was in. He was set up for something, or he was unjustly jailed by the Empire, and he played a part in help breaking people out of the jail. Other than that, I'm telling you, it's a snooze fest. It's
Damn.
just now starting to get interesting to me. But I will tell you, any scenes involving Mon Mothma, any scenes that were involving Cyril, that's the character who apparently works for the Empire. He's kind of a mama's boy.
Okay, I won't say what happened.
Yeah, all right. So something interesting happens with him.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Because I was gonna say all of his scenes with Stellan Skarsgård, Luthen. He's the art collector. You know what I'm talking about? He's the guy. He's the same actor who played Professor Solveig in Thor.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's in there. Okay, yes. I was like, I know this guy from something. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh my God,
That's crazy to hear what you're saying, because
the show Andor is called Andor, and I'm like, can I see more of him, please? At least he's interesting. So it's starting to get. I'm starting to see the foundation of what the Empire is going to be, and right now they're talking about transporting some type of equipment, and they're like, what's going on with this transport? And I'm wondering, are they talking about pieces to the Death Star, maybe?
That's what I was kind of picking up from the episodes. They were mentioning some kind of minerals or something, and they were making such a big deal about it. I was like, I wonder if they're working, if this is a part of the Death Star thing. And maybe it is, because I think this must lead into Rogue One or something. The movie.
Right, but the thing is, we didn't see anything about the Death Star until episode 2. Was it Rogue One?
It was in Rogue One.
No. Rogue One comes after the 3 prequels, though, right?
After the
So we first
yeah.
We first saw any semblance of the Death Star in episode 2, Attack of the Clones, with that one weird alien.
That's right. Yeah.
Palm, and it shows a Death Star being built.
Isn't it? You're right. And I think they show it at the end of Revenge of the Sith too, showing it being built. Like one of the last shots, and Vader walks into the Star Destroyer, and Palpatine's there, and Tarkin is there.
Okay, I don't remember.
I just saw.
That's why now I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is something to get interested in this show. But other than that, man, I like Obi-Wan better.
Oh wow, that show is terrible. All right, Antpooh, have you seen any of Andor?
No, I have not. I'm still on. I think I'm on episode 5 of the first season.
Okay. Oh, I mean, so you've seen
Yeah.
some of it.
Yeah. I personally I enjoyed Osaka, and I liked
What you
um Osaka.
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka, whatever.
What's her name?
And the Acolyte. I really enjoyed the Acolyte.
really?
So,
I have
yeah.
to. I've only seen the first 2 episodes.
I told you at the end, it was on some woke. It was woke as fuck. They essentially showed that the Jedi wasn't shit, that they were about killing unarmed minorities and covering it up. Just
Wow.
like the police.
Minorities.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting. There's minorities and stuff.
Hey, they had well, yes, because the who they killed, they were all woman enclave, and the mothers were lesbians, parents. So that's this minority on top of minority.
Interesting. I just don't see it. Let me stop. Go ahead.
Yeah. I didn't get into the Skeleton Crew, but yeah, Andor is on my on my watch list. I'm gonna eventually get to it. Yeah.
I need to meet somebody who's caping for the Skeleton Crew.
The first 2 episodes were good. When they introduced Jude Law, I was like, oh, okay, here we got a Jedi. Sorry, spoilers. And then come to find out that he was faking the funk. And then once I found out that he was lying about being a Jedi, I was like, oh, fuck this, I'm out.
What is that show about? I've only seen like 5 minutes of the first episode. I couldn't.
It's about some young kids that want to explore the galaxy, and somehow they accidentally they go to a spaceship and they accidentally launch themselves into space, and they're trying to get back home.
Okay.
And
it's just the premise.
Jude Law's character is trying to steal something from the planet that the kids are from has a field on because there's some type of rich resource on the planet, and Jude Law is actually trying to steal that. Is that correct? From what I remember. So anyway, the fact that I don't remember a lot of these, it's like there are bits and pieces, like even from even like Acolyte. I like that Sith Lord, the Asian dude from what was he from? New Girl? Was it New Girl he's from? Anyway, and then Skeleton Crew, I like seeing society, Star Wars society, regular society. It was very interesting because it was almost like an authoritarian state. You, as a kid, you already were told what track you were going to be on for the rest of your life.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I would
right?
Yeah, that's
no, they get off of that very quickly.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's so many. Again, to me, this is kind of what we were talking about when you sort of expanding any and every little angle. It just all of them are not going to be good, and it only takes a few bad ones where it starts to kind of like, I don't even want to watch none of it no more, And I think I'm mad that Star Wars has fell into that for me. Because I'm like a big Star Wars fan, but I just can't watch these shows. They just don't work for me for some reason. It's not like, and I don't say they're terrible, but they're just not. You know what it is? I think I have Star Wars on such a high level in my mind. Like the quality is supposed to be so good on all aspects. These shows, they just look like normal TV shows to me. They don't seem like there's anything special other than the fact that they dress up like they're in Star Wars. But it doesn't feel like the movie. And that's how Marvel's movie, they don't feel like the Avengers movies. They feel like TV shows that are cool, but then it makes me not see it in such a high regard anymore. And it's just like another TV show to me. Like another show I don't want to have any time to watch anyway, regardless of the fact that it's in a brand that I love. But yeah, Andor, I'm going to check out the next episode. I almost kind of was watching it like, I'm going to watch this like A New Hope. Like if you really watch when A New Hope comes in, it's like chapter 4, right? You don't know what the hell happened before that. And you're kind of trying to trying to piece together what are these characters like? What are they talking about? Is some kind of war or something? I was just kind of watching it like that to kind of see like, can I even make sense of what the hell is going on? And it worked for me. It was enough going on where I was like, I don't know the full plot, but this is some gangsta ass shit, whatever's going on. So anyway, cycle back real quick. I'm going to change subjects. We were talking about the Native Americans in Sinners. I was going to say, if you want to see a somewhat Native American sort of horror action, you have to go watch the movie Blood Quantum.
Yes. Where is
I think we talked about this a couple years ago.
that on Netflix?
I can only hope. I had rented it a long time ago, but it might be. But it's coming.
I saw something recently about that. Like it was being advertised like it was new.
Well, I put it in the Discord. I don't know if that's what you mean, but
Maybe that's what I saw.
It basically it's the zombie apocalypse, but in this case, I almost want to say non-melanated, but anyone definitely.
Oh, this is the one where white people can't get powers, but black people or Indian people can, something like that. I forget, something like that.
No, the white people become the zombies.
Okay.
And the natives are immune to it for whatever reason. And this is the battle. The whites are coming to their reservation, and natives got to, it's a dope ass movie. I wish Sinners would be the closest thing, in terms of a black version of that. But if you want to see more native action like that, definitely Blood Quantum is a definitely check out. Let's switch it up. We're going to get away from movies for a second. Shannon Sharpe. This happened a while ago. We all know the situation. Shannon, brother got involved with a young white girl, OnlyFans model apparently, and now did she come out and say he raped her? I think that's what she's saying, like he raped her, and then audio came out, talking crazy about choking her. Texts have come out, just wild stuff. Shannon came out and he like, show the tape, show the whole tape. It's 10 minutes. He's talking about show the sex tape, apparently. He had to step. That sounds wild when you think about it. Like, who says that? No, post the sex tape. Like, huh? But I guess his theory was that somehow would clear the allegations or something. But no matter what that situation is, one, I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about that whole thing, and two, should we as men be smarter in our 50s, 60s? Or anything goes as long as you can get away with it. Go ahead, Ant. You start wherever you want.
I'm gonna say our men need to be smarter about raising our sons to become men so they can be smarter. I hope that makes sense, because this situation should be avoided no matter your age. I get when you're young, you don't have this mentality of probably wanting to settle down. You probably, just want to smash as much as you want. But there is, and I'm gonna go ahead and use a word that Q loves to say, there needs to be a level of discernment of who you're choosing to smash. When let's take it to Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is in his 50s. He's a grown ass man. He's worth millions of dollars. Fine, you can do whatever you want. But you don't want to settle down with a 50-year-old who ain't got that tight body anymore. I get it. You worth millions of dollars. You think you got access to younger women. But why you would choose a woman that was in high school a couple years ago and is now proudly displaying her OnlyFans is beyond me. I don't get when you are on that level on ESPN taking all that money, working for Disney, who don't want this type, they don't want none of this for the image that they got. Even though it's ESPN, it's still under the Disney umbrella, and they still try to have that wholesome family image, Why would you put yourself in that situation with your employers? And then you have Club Shay Shay, which blew up last year off the strength of that Cat Williams interview, and then Monique, and just going on and on. And you're building this brand, and then you're being this reckless and careless in your love life, and it's biting you in the ass. So I'm hoping, no, actually, I'm saddened to see a lot of men ranging from 18 to 50 talk about, oh, she was trying to get him. Oh, she was trying to get him. That's not what we should be saying. We should be saying, why did this man put himself in a position to be got? Plain and simple. Only fans model. Why are you fucking with that? That's what I gotta say. And to the men out there that are father to boys, raise them better. You can go have your fun. Just be smart about it. Especially when you get to this level with everything to lose. She ain't got nothing to lose. She's all notice. I mean, I know they probably won't come in. No disrespect. She want to be a sex worker, OnlyFans. Fine. But she ain't got, we can all admit she ain't got shit to lose putting this allegation out there. She didn't have shit to lose messing with Shannon Sharpe. She got to come. That man came at her and put a value of $10 million on her vagina. And she said, nah, you got more.
Well, she said,
think about that.
25K per cheek, right?
No, I'm saying she was talking. But when it came down to, you're gonna break bread or we're gonna throw this out here, he came with 10 million. First of all, I'm thinking like, bro, you really got $10 million to give for this? I guess you do. But then she's like, well, I think you got more. And at that point, I have no sympathy for Shannon Sharpe. Because let me have all of that and that money. Shit, ain't no way you would catch me in that situation. No, you wouldn't. No.
Let me go check your posts.
I'm worth it. First of all, let's just keep it 1,000. When you at that level,
right?
All we gotta do is look at Prince. When you at that level, you can do all your freaky stuff on, and you can have a level, you can move a certain way where none of this shit gets out. And hopefully you ain't sexually assaulted. You're not doing stuff without consent, with that was being alleged. But you absolutely can get your freak on without it costing you everything, because we've seen it with Prince.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I hear you.
You know what I mean.
That's what I hear you. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Q, would you weigh in on this?
I've always said, as long as they're of age, it's fair game. But
oh Lord,
I mean, I don't know what I said is wrong, but it's like Ant said. I mean, you're Shannon Sharpe. I mean, you got millions of dollars. It seemed like you could aim a little higher than that. And releasing the audio tapes to I assume he did that to prove that it was all consensual. Don't know if that was a good move. You could have done.
He put the tapes out, or did the lawyer, other guys, people do it?
I thought I don't know if he did them himself, but I thought he sanctioned.
He initially put out tweets. His team okayed him putting not tweets, text messages that was supposed to prove that this was a consensual relationship. And then they put out, and then the accuser put out the audio. They're like, oh, she was like, yeah, I got this motherfucker now, because bam, they were on their Kendrick Lamar. Oh, you clap back? Okay, I already queued up. Drop the audio.
They put out there not like us. She put the not like us on him. It was over. Go ahead.
Your boy, who's the Belichick? He's dating. He's in his 67, dating a 23-year-old. I mean, if that's what you want, as long as she's 18 or older, like Prince said, 18 and over.
Hilarious. Why y'all pulling Prince into this? I don't
understand. Mine wasn't as bad as his.
He said it. Own it. But should you? I can't see how a 60. I don't know how old Belichick is. I'm assuming he's in his late 60s. I don't know what they could be talking about.
They ain't talking.
Oh, that's my point. So you can't really base anything on that.
Well, So to somewhat agree with both of you on that, but I think one of the difference to me between these two examples is that it'd be like if that Bill Belichick, if the girl came out against him and she was a black girl and started saying like he was saying slave shit, you know,
Oh, that's the other
give
part.
me that black, you black yet, you know, or give me your big white daddy slave master. This is what Shannon Sharpe's doing. Like I don't, you know,
Oh, Lord.
he in there playing. Give hey Becky, I got that master ain't gonna know I'm giving you that big black, you know. You dark eat this you black. But he doing that. So to me, that's the difference. Like it'd have been one thing if your older brother, brother, all of us would somehow probably get taken a little bit on that. But why the slave play sex stuff? Like that's the part that I'm kind of bewildered by. Like, you want this big black baby.
I think
You dirty. You don't let my daddy see you do.
you acting way
Where
too
he-
well.
Yeah, like,
Exposed.
Exactly. I was gonna say that. Man, you made me lose my train of thought.
But yeah, Shannon was on some wild stuff, man.
And that's the other thing that I don't like. You know, I had a lot of respect for Shannon Sharpe. You know, the brother was putting in his work. He was one of my favorite players on one of my favorite teams. And to hear that you're doing racial kink stuff, your business, I guess. But it's been exposed, and now I have to look at you side eye like, you find that turns you on? You got this white woman put a black baby in? Like, okay, I guess.
Oh yeah, right. Oh man,
You like
slave. I mean, you know, that's what he into. But that's the part that I'm like, you know, you really want that tape to come out, sir? You know, because if that tape comes out and he's in there, I'm your, it's over. You know, it doesn't. To me, I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's consensual. You look crazy,
right?
What anybody's gonna be hiring you? Well, we're just talking about sports, and then in the back of my mind, as consumer, I'm watching and I'm seeing him say, you know, slave talk, having sex with white women. They ain't gonna, you know, that's to me like you're dumb. Like, what are you doing?
And he has daughters too, so it's like you're not even setting the example for your kids. And I get it. I totally get it. I'm 40. I'll be 48 this year. God damn it. And I'm walking down the street looking at these women. I'm looking like, God damn, she look good. Then I'm like, fuck, she's like 25. I get the attraction. But you try to tell me Shannon Sharpe with all your money, and he looks good. He still looks good physical shape. He ain't sloppy, any of that. He ain't got to go to a 19-year-old. You can get you a nice, fine looking 35-year-old, a 40-year-old that still look good. What's the I can't think of her name. Jocelyn, the one that there's this Anthony Edwards who was messing with this. Anthony Edwards like 22, 23, and he was messing with this 38-year-old that got pregnant, and he was like, I don't want nothing to do with the baby. That woman is 38 years old and she looks phenomenal. So you don't have to go that young and get your own self and to be a trick. But you know, dumb niggas gonna do dumb nigga shit.
Tracy Lee Ross is that her name? Tracy Lee Ross?
Right. No, Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yeah. Well, you were gonna say something about her? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like I'm saying, there's a lot of fine older women out there.
Well, I thought you were going to bring up. She came out right before this incident happened. She said she don't date older dudes.
Yeah, oh, she said she did.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
She said she dates younger guys.
Yeah, it was like a big story, and then this happened.
Now she didn't give no age, but I'm assuming. I think she's like 54. I'm assuming she's talking like 40, 45. I don't think she pulling someone a freshman in college.
Oh, please, the young brother.
Possible, but I don't think she is.
I was going to say this about Shannon Sharpe, though. You know, I'm actually not shocked on any of this situation because to me, I think, well, first of all, I don't know if it was last year or when it was recently. He had a sex thing tape leak that he did. He went live on Instagram when he was having sex with some girl. He tried to act like it was an accident. It's not. It wasn't no accident. You know what I'm saying? Like now you can look
Oh,
back.
I remember that. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
like
now
years.
you can look back and be like, yo, this cat is dumb. He'd been playing games the whole time. It's just that now it's getting exposed, right? But you can see he'd probably be doing the most behind the scenes. And now the rabbits, whether the rabbits out the hat or hats out the rabbit, whatever. Now it's sort of getting exposed, but you can look back and say, yeah, he probably been doing dumb shit the whole time. There was when people was clowning him the way he was dressed coming out the thing. At first now I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised, if he were on some whatever, and salute. The whole show itself, if you look at it from the viewpoint of a grown man, right? That'd be like, now imagine if I'm 54, I'm 55.
Damn.
And y'all know me. Now, if I came out with a new podcast and it was called Club Nay or Day or something like that, you'd be like, what the fuck? Look, Mike, Day. Like, nigga, stop. What are you doing? Now, and then if that show, I've just brought people on to talk crazy and to spew a lot of discord, you'd be like, man, Mike, you like a gossiping. Like, what you grown and your show is called Shy. And you're doing gossip. So to me, this is all a part of the brain. Like it was messy from the gate. His biggest shows are the shows that are super messy, right? Cat Williams going in on people, causing discord, coming at other comics. That was a whole big thing. That was one of the biggest things on YouTube ever, right? I mean, they still talk about that, the different things in there, but it caused a lot of drama, right? That's how he came up. Monique, the one with Monique. Drama. So if you got an older brother, he was already an established, isn't he a Hall of Famer?
Hall of Fame football player. Yep.
So I think he's an older black man, Hall of Famer, then had the career already and chooses. And he was already on ESPN and all the other stuff. And I don't even watch it, but I remember there's headlines. There was something going on between him and his white co-host.
Yep.
And it looked like he was talking crazy. Foolishness. I just saw it as foolishness. So I didn't even watch it. So to me, just as an outsider looking at it, he's always been involved in some mess. So it's just a matter of time before his own personal mess becomes the show, becomes the main thing. And I think when he did that little sex tape leak, that was when you saw like, oh yeah, he about to something. He into some shit. He's on his Diddy. Not that he's doing anything illegal. I'm just saying like there's a whole other side of him that we of the public can't imagine he's doing. Like you just said, why would anybody be getting involved with their young OnlyFans? And then I'm like, why would you be talking to slave talk and you're allowing yourself to be recorded and all? But again, if you live a life of foolishness, that's par for the course. So to me, he's just so now I say for us and for younger people, just look at how he moved over the last few years. Doesn't matter your status. You could be a Hall of Famer, millionaire, celebrity. But if you are on some bullshit, you'll stay on some bullshit. You just be rich and well known, but on some bullshit. And one little thing like this, and this is not even a little thing, it's just an absurd thing. Like who does what he did with that girl? His whole career is damn near on the rocks. It's
Well,
it's ridiculous.
one thing I've said is this is definitely a win for lame niggas. Because we definitely wouldn't be doing this dumb shit and fucking up our bags. It's okay. Fellas, young fellas, if y'all listening, watching this, it's okay to be that lame dude that gets married, loves on one woman, has kids, has a family, and takes your kids to soccer practice. You don't lose. I don't know anybody that's lost the bag doing that.
Right. Well, I do.
Shit.
There's a
Well,
lot
I
of
mean,
divorce- there's a lot of
divorced.
divorces.
But if you go to Mark Wiggins Esquire, he'll get you set up with an airtight prenup.
Hilarious. All right. Yeah, but hey, I hope for the best for that situation. It'd be a shame for it to be thrown away.
Yeah.
But lessons learned. Absolutely.
But
Go ahead.
you think he's gonna learn that lesson?
Well, I'm saying for other people, it could be a
Okay,
lesson learned.
okay,
You know,
okay.
he'll. I'm sure he'll be fine or whatever capacity. He ain't gonna be out on the street, and it's not a criminal court case yet. So he's just gonna have to pay some money, and he might lose. You know, career might take a hit for a little bit, but you know, he could turn around. Shit, he could go to OnlyFans if that's the case. I mean, he's already gonna leak his own sex tape, and if this other tape, he wants the 10-minute tape to be released, so he's gonna be on this Kim Kardashian. So
I was
all
gonna say
he
he
can
gonna
do is take that and try to flip it into something else. If Kim
Look at
Kardashian can
this
flip
job.
billions of dollars by sucking dick, then he can get billions of dollars by having some white woman
Serve it.
call him a N-word.
Anyway,
Speaking of the N-word, but this won't be monetized, but there's a woman that came out. There was a video which I'm not gonna play, but it was. I'm gonna read a little bit. It was a woman who called black child a slur has raised a backlash, but also tons of money. A video showing a Minnesota woman at a playground last week openly admitting to using a racist slur against a black child has generated millions of views. But what's been equally appalling for some is that the woman has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars in crowd funds. In the video, a man in Rochester, a city roughly 90 miles south of Minneapolis, confronts the woman for calling a 5-year-old boy the N-word. The woman appears to double down on the racist term and flips off the man confronting her with both of her middle fingers. The woman, who could not be reached for comment, has since amassed over $700,000 through Christian fundraising platform Give, Send, Go. Interesting. For relocation expenses because of threats she received over the video. The fundraising page, she said she used the word out of frustration because the boy went through her 18-month-old child's diaper bag. The Associated Press is not there. Say it again.
The child went through. I thought he went through the mother's purse.
Yeah, ABC News is saying it was the diaper bag.
Well, bag. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see. I called the kid out for what he was, she wrote, adding that the online videos have, quote, caused my family and myself great turmoil. The flurry of monetary contributions has reignited multiple debates from whether racist language and attacks are becoming more permissible to the differences between cancel culture and consequence culture. I've never heard that term. Many want to see the woman face some sort of comeuppance for using a slur, especially toward a child. Others say, despite her words, she does not deserve to be harassed. The confrontation is reminiscent of others from the internet age, in which the instigator of assaults or verbal attacks obtain almost folk hero status, while the victim receive a trepid show of support by comparisons. I could go on, but you get the gist of it. Man, were you guys aware of this? And if you are, what do you think? What do you take on this? It's a lot of $700,000.
I don't know why people are surprised.
Speak on it.
I mean, if a brother came out of himself and clapped back at a white dude that and call the white dude a name. There's no name we can call white people that is as offensive as that word. I could see us. We would do our best to raise money for that person. It's just we don't share the values that that white woman shares. But I'm not upset with her for getting her bag. What I'm upset is that she used a racial slur against a child, and people are supporting that. Now the way they're supporting is through money, but I'm pissed about the support of her and the words she used as an adult on a child.
Am I listening to you? Are you saying this as opposed to something else? Kind of threw me off a little bit.
I'm saying I don't know why we're surprised that white racists are raising money for this woman. We shouldn't be surprised about that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And the only thing I'm surprised about is that she seems to be getting rewarded for use of a word against a child. That's what I'm more pissed off about.
You don't see those as the same thing?
As I'm saying it, maybe it is the same thing. I guess I'm saying I don't know. I just
You're getting tired.
I am getting tired. Actually, it's almost midnight where I am, but it is midnight. But I guess what I'm pissed about is that this whole situation exists, and she's getting rewarded over this, and it's going to lead to copycat shit.
Interesting. Well, I see a face over there. What? Go ahead, Antpooh.
No, I was just, when he said it's going to lead to copycat, I was like, damn, yeah, I could see that. Yes, we should not be surprised because of the fact that we saw with George Zimmerman, we saw with Officer Wilson, we saw with Derek Chauvin that the guy in the subway that killed that black man, they got their support. And I can't think of his name.
Bernard Getz? Or am I going way back?
Maybe, but just recently that was with Trump.
Oh, okay. No,
we've seen that when they feel the actions were justified, they will go ahead and support them and give them their day in court, give them the financial means to fight this grave injustice, no matter how they see it. But my friend used to say, not surprised, but always disappointed. I'm just like, do we know how old that kid was?
The black child?
Yeah.
5.
Now, with the
5-year-old, where the parents were at.
Sorry. With the 5, there's no, if what she alleges is true, there's no excuse for what that 5-year-old did. But to, like, if he actually old. No, I'm saying there's no excuse for what the 5-year-old did going through the diaper bag. That's what I mean.
At 5 years old?
I'm just saying. I'm like, I get that, but that doesn't warrant her reaction. I think the appropriate reaction should have been, where is your parents? I'm going to take you to your parents and tell them what you did, and hopefully you get disciplined. But to just go out of your way to demean him at that level, and then to continue justifying, oh, that's how he was acting, that's how I referred to him. To me, I'm just like, you're just inhuman. You're just an inhuman piece of shit. It's a 5-year-old. Yeah. 5-year-olds make mistakes. That's one thing I told my daughter. We all make mistakes. No, we all fall, as the Bible says, we all fall short of the glory of God and of Christ himself. We all make mistakes.
Wow. You got scriptures.
It's like
you kind of like that vampire when he just started busting. I was like, whoa. He like, I know you, like, ain't nothing. That shit ain't real. We just tell that to y'all.
Sorry, and the trauma. It's like, what does surprise me is the fact that there is no empathy for this 5-year-old boy, and to the point that these people are okay with it. Like, yeah, he deserved it. He deserved to be talked to like that. He is acting like an N-word. So, but sadly, this is the society that has been fostered over the last 8 years. And, not even a 5-year-old make it. It's amazing. This 5-year-old who made this mistake is not given grace. But they will find all the grace in the world for 21-year-olds like Jake Ulbrich, who prank called Shador Sanders. That's a grown ass man. But you know, as we all know, there's two sets of rules in this world. Well, in this country, can't speak for the world.
You know what?
Oh, go ahead.
Well, it just reminded me of another story that happened. I think did I post it or someone else posted it a couple days ago or yesterday? But a brother who shot a white kid trying to break in his door over a TikTok prank.
Wow.
I just came to my mind because Ant was talking about there's no grace given for people of color.
You know, the sort of, and I'm not like this today, but the hustler in me would actually, I question the whole thing. Actually, only in the pretense that, and somebody could let me know, because I maybe haven't followed it. Has the parents of that 5-year-old ever come forward yet to sort of even say that this shit actually really happened like that? Because in my super cynical mind, I'm like, well, I see the video that this sparked this whole thing, but how do we really not know that they're not all in it, all on it? Like, you know, a true hustler, this could be a hell of a play, right? You just got $700,000 for saying some wild shit from a viral video. You talking super racist to a 5-year-old baby? Again, my common sense is, well, where's the goddamn mom and dad? Because I don't know no 5-year-old that be at the park by themselves and the parent ain't right there. Especially when you see some other adult come around your child. I don't, and enough time that's in that video where she's talking greasy, you never see the parent come in there and say, well, "Get my baby." And it's a black baby. That's why I'm kind of like, maybe I missed where the parents came out and said, "Yeah, this happened," and we're outraged because I ain't seen the baby. I mean, I've seen the video now of he's a Somalian guy who filmed this, and he got a. That's what I was saying. He got a GoFundMe thing. I'm like, man, he's not the father of that baby. Then who? Because you would think the parents, or you would think somebody on their behalf would put up a GoFundMe, and maybe they have. I just don't know. But that's what I was kind of questioning, like this, because this we're talking about 2025, and the game just gets better. It doesn't. This would be a hell of a play. I'm not saying it, but it would be it would be some shit though. Like it was all a play, and the white girls, I'm gonna film this, but I don't know. Just because it sounds so ridiculous. Like, I'm not surprised like Q that they would donate to this. I could see the super cynical part. We know they would donate to this. You know, it's the perfect time to do it. And then they just have that whole thing with the young man at some sort of kids sports thing, and he stabbed the white dude, and everyone's trying to say it was murder. You know, that whole thing was just in the news prior to this. And now you have something that almost sort of is the opposite of it, where all the people who were mad. Oh, yeah. The black boy, his family put out a GoFundMe, right? And they raised a whole bunch of money. And they was all mad about that their family got the money. The parents had the press conference, and even the dad of the white kid went to the press conference and stood up in there, and they escorted him out and all that shit. There's so many people that's mad that they made money off of this. I could see why a cynical person, we could create the one where all the white folks, they would, just as a get back for that situation, they donate the money for this one. So that's kind of where my eyes be looking like, yeah. But then again, maybe it's just as absurd as it seems, you know. But it's a wild play. Again, I don't question, or I'm not surprised that that young lady would say and act like that on camera. I'm just curious because I know if that was me and it was my child, you would have saw me right all up in the video. You know, all up, damn. So, there's no way I would have allowed my child to be standing there being berated like that. And I'm sitting over at the bench watching them play, or what the fuck is going on? So that's why I'm just curious. Where are the parents, man? I don't know no parent that'll let their 5-year-old be just running nilly-nally in a public park like that. But maybe that's how they get down in Minnesota. I don't know. But yeah, I ain't never seen that. So, but all right.
I was listening to Higher Learning, great podcast I recommend with Van Lathan and Rachel Lynn Lindsay. And they were going through, I was trying to pull it up. They were going through the Give, Send, Go because you can see the donations. And they made two observations. One, I'm like, if you're gonna donate, why don't you put your name to it? Why we got all these anonymous givers? You want to give, but you want to do it anonymously? It's like step into your truth. And then they started reading some of the fake names. A couple of them was Nick Kerr. And I was like, wow.
Hilarious.
I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
That's how y'all feel.
I mean,
Okay.
why would they use their real names? They'd get fired or canceled. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. But the Nick Kerr, I was like, oh, okay. Y'all just gonna be all the way right.
Anybody who's played any sort of online gaming in the last 15 years, you already know how they get down. They're not going to tell you your real name, but they'll get on that. Their kids will get on microphones and talk crazy to black people. And they don't even know if you're black. What's your screen name? Killer. Huh? Matter of fact, I was playing Left 4 Dead the other night. Cool. We were just having a good little session. I don't know these people we're playing. And then somebody joins the game and his name was N-word something, and then kill N-words. And then he just flooded the chat with the text. Nigger kill. And then he had the audio playing. And it was some race. And he ruined the game. And then he killed everybody on his own, on my team, and ruined it. I'm like, this is how they get down. Like, so yeah, I mean, they've been doing this for a long time.
Now, what's interesting, and Q should like this, what's interesting is that a certain president who says he's been unfairly characterized as racist has not said anything to condemn any of this.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect him to either. We already know what
Now, I'm just saying, because he's quick to try to throw a trick bag to the black community using black celebrities and other stuff to try to say, no, I ain't racist. I'm like, well, why you ain't doing it here?
Because that's the art of the deal, Ant.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who don't know he's the ultimate hustler, you've been missing. Why would he say anything? It wouldn't make
like, nah, that's his constituents, but like
they tell you right to your face. At our age, if you don't already know the hunt is on, you just a Shannon Sharpe. It don't really, nothing new. Ain't nothing new at this point. They didn't already done everything they've done before. Like if you're black and you got money, if you don't know that you ain't supposed to be acting a fool, then that's on you at this point. Like all of the racism has been here for generations. The deck's stacked, been stacked, like you said, parents got to teach their kids. I think the sad part is some of the parents was never taught, or they done been flipped. So you just got the blind teaching the blind and not telling them the truth. Like, yo, you're going to have to step it up when you get out here. You can't do what they do. And we want to act like it's not, we want to act like we brand new when we already know. There's no excuse. That's why I don't understand Shannon Sharpe. He our age. So I don't understand, and he's from the South. Is that to get down with the slave? What the hell is it? But again, some people was different, man. Now he was probably always on some bullshit, sad to say. And we know cats like that.
Real quick, I'm on that woman's Give, Send, Go page, and just the audacity. So it says raised 764,192. This chick says goal 1 million. I'm like, wow.
And probably gonna get it.
I'm like, wow. She really said that as a.
She doesn't say the N-word, and why wouldn't she say
the
that's nothing. I'm surprised you didn't put more N words in there. Let's show these.
He said, "Go 1,000,000."
But I think,
And-
but I agree with Q. I think this will open the door for more kind of stuff like this. You know, it's gonna make it now. Hey, you can say it now. You know what's the worst? If they try to cancel you, we got you. So I think you will see people openly just come out and start saying that. Well, let it be one of the politicians who, you know, the new Trump, the one that's gonna come after him, who's gonna really be acting a fool. He'll probably will say it and a win on that. They'll vote for him because he said it too. And they'll be like, "How could you vote for it's freedom of speech. He can say what he wants. If you're not one, then what does it matter?" And then they'll say that, and then it's in all their music anyway. And that's how they'll justify it. And you'll have some black people like, "Well, you're not calling me," you know. Like, of course, you're gonna have that, but we should already know this. So again, you can act brand new if you want.
And that's why I'm telling all the black people in this country, plan your exit strategy. Make sure you got your passport, make sure it's up to date, got at least a year left on it, because when shit gets real bad, find someplace else to be.
Yeah, just don't go to China.
Shit, China ain't looking too bad. They got free healthcare. Give me that shit.
Yeah, but that lady was on her. I feel sorry for your mother. I don't know if y'all saw that. She's telling it to your face. You need watermelon? She was talking crazy.
Wow.
Like, she was just trying to.
Real
She was
good.
just trying to make sure he had something to eat. That's all.
She was talking real crazy. She said
Wait,
something.
is this
My white boyfriend said you. No, in her apology. I don't know if you in her apology video. She's my white boyfriend. I was listening to him. Somebody got her to act right, but if that outrage of that video wasn't there, you can see how she really was thinking though. When she didn't think no consequences was coming, she was going in, and that wasn't an American. So again, we can go out the country, gonna be better. You play if you want to. But anyway, we got a few more minutes, and we're going to get up out of here. Another topic you guys want to get into before we jump out, or you want to talk about something you saw or something?
Real quick, if you got Netflix, I highly recommend the show Forever. Apparently, it's an adaptation of a Judy Blume novel of the same name. It's from Mari Brock Ali. I can't think of her name, but I think she did Girlfriends and a couple of other black series. I think Living Single as well. It's a 8-episode limited series. I'm on the last 8. I'm sorry, not the last 8. I'm on the last episode and highly recommend it. Just real quick. It's a coming of age black love story with some teenagers in Los Angeles. So I'm giddy as fuck seeing all the landmarks and seeing how this all play out. But it opens with this kid, and we learn that he has ADHD, so he's hella awkward and kind of lameish. He goes to a party. His parents got mother and father. They hot. They not middle class. They seem like almost upper middle class. They got a house in the hills, pool, all that. And he's going to this this PWI high school. He goes to a party and meets up with this girl named Keisha, and they hit it off real quick, real good. They go to the movie. They do a date. Apparently he had a gift card, so they went to the store and he bought her something. Everything's going cool. But shit goes a little wild. They go to the movie theater, they enjoying, they get the touching and get the kissing, and she decides she want to go down on him. And salute to the brother. He was like, "Wait, no, you ain't got to do all that. What's going on?"
These are teenagers.
Teenagers, I know. I
can't watch it.
Yeah, I know. It's made me hella uncomfortable. Now, the girl's 27, the boy's 22, so I'm like, okay, at least I did that shit. But it's just amazing to see how this story progresses over the 8 episodes. We learned that the girl Keisha, she was dating this high school basketball player, and they got to doing some stuff, and they recorded it. And like an idiot, he decided to show the fellas something, and it made the rounds of the whole school. And it got so bad, she got depressed, she had to leave. And when I saw that, I was just like, oh, this shit took kind of a dark turn. How are you gonna navigate all this?
That's a horror story.
Because I'm thinking to myself, like, as the boy, like, do you really want to keep going with this? Because this girl got some trauma at 16, 17. And then I'm feeling for the girl, because she's living with her single mother. I think, yeah, she's Jamaican, the father's Dominican, the father, he's not in the house. And she ain't told nobody. She had no support. She had to deal with all of that and had to lie to her mother about why she wanted to leave the house. And it's just really interesting, the dichotomy between the two, where she's in View Park area, which is close to South LA, and he's up in the hills. And these two, it's a really good story. I mean, again, it can make you uncomfortable because these are teenagers and you're seeing this, but as a father of girls, it really just kind of got to me, like, damn, this is what they got to deal with. These are the things that they're putting, the situations they're putting themselves in, and how one act of, I guess, love, or trying to express your love, could really fuck up your life. And it literally almost did for her.
Yeah. It's like, this sounds like a good show, but I'll probably be too triggered to make
Yeah,
it.
you would believe you.
I can't do it. I don't want to put that on me at the moment.
Yeah.
But
I absolutely recommend it. And it was really great when that first episode ended. It said directed by Regina King. It said created by Mari Akil Barak. I think that's her name.
Alil, Mara Brock Alil.
Yeah. And then it had story, and it was another sister. And I was just like, bravo. Good to see that.
Right on. All right. You got anything, Q, before we get out?
No, man, I'm good. It's a little after
Late over there.
almost 12:30.
Oh man, let's get Q in the bed, because I know you're tired.
I'm old.
Hey,
about it.
I'm right there with you, brother. Man, this was fun, and we could have went on longer, but it's late. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this. You have anything you want to add? So what did you think about Sinners? What do you think about the Shannon Sharpe situation? The lady with the I'm Racist Fund Me account, whatever it was called. Have you seen Thunderbolts? We didn't get to talk about that, but that's another one that's out right now. Real quick, the next movie you can't wait to see, Antpooh.
I think it's Superman. I feel like there was another movie that came out that I'm interested in, but sorry, you put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Superman.
Antpooh. I mean, Q. Excuse me.
I can't think of any movie I can't wait to see. The movies I'm going to see, that's going to be Fantastic Four and Superman.
Yeah,
but I'm not expecting. Don't they get released on the same day?
No, hell no.
They can't do that. Yeah, that would be wild.
But I heard that they got released the same day.
That would be
I'm
wild.
not expecting much from either film, but I'll go check them out.
Okay.
I don't know. That post-credit scene kind of got me a little hype. And Fantastic Four and the trailer. I'm feeling the trailer.
Okay. I was gonna say Superman, but then I also I can't even think of the movie, but whatever that Denzel Spike Lee thing.
Oh,
I would day one that for sure.
Look Up, Look Down, something like that. Or...
Yeah. I do want to see that. And I'm curious because it was it Ice Spice. If I'm saying her name right, she starred in this movie too.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
I think.
I think Spike Lee must have saw her like that. Looked like Rosie. Yeah, let me get her up in here.
I remember it was back when she was kind of still big, and I remember they were talking about this. But I was kind of thinking, like, I don't think she's gonna last that long. But maybe
she
this
told you.
Well, I don't know. I don't follow her, so I thought she was out of the news. But she's about to get an opportunity of a lifetime for sure. But yeah, and then of course Superman. I'm just very curious about that movie, one way or the other. Just want to see what they do. But okay, we're about to get out
I'm
of here.
sorry. I saw that. I saw the trailer and that little thing with the little clip they did with crypto. I'm kind of liking it. I'm liking it. You know, I know Mr. Purist over there ain't feeling it, but you know,
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I hope it's good, but I have low expectations.
wow.
All right. I mean, but I
Ringing
want it to
endorsement.
be good. Say it again.
I said, what a ringing endorsement.
Well, I mean, I want to see it. I do want to see it. I just my thing is, I expect something different because it has to be something different. But I don't trust James Gunn. I'm not really a fan of his work like that. So I like I would have never picked him to do Superman. I would have him do a Guardians or a comedy type of thing, but I don't envision Superman being sort of funny or something. So I don't know. We'll see. But with that said, I do know I want to see this thing over. So, ladies and gentlemen, please like and subscribe, do all that great stuff. But if there's only one thing that you do, hold on.
Do.
I'm making up shit. I know Mark will go crazy right now. Work it like a job. We'll see you next time. Peace. Damn it, Gracie been messing with my settings. All right, we out.
Yeah, that was a rough